Hello folks, I hope wherever you are today it's as sunny and warm as it is here. Glorious. A little bit of wind, so apologies if the sound is distorted or muffled by the windiness. But I can't do anything about that other than sit in my own home and do it. I thought I needed to get out, get some fresh air. It's good to get into nature. So, I made myself chuckle today because I've been hearing this phrase cancel culture a lot, and I didn't really know what it meant. But I also read an article recently about restaurants who are taking bookings now, and lots of people were not turning up to their bookings, and that obviously is going to cause them a bit of a problem with their business model, and it's not very polite, is it? So I thought maybe cancel culture had something to do with that. Or maybe it was something to do with all the gigs and festivals and all other public events that are being cancelled because of the pandemic. So that in my head was what cancel culture probably was. And then I thought I'd better Google it just to check. Turns out it's something completely different. Oh well, I'm glad I didn't use it in conversation and embarrass myself. Not that I would care, actually. But anyway, yeah, what cancel culture is, if you don't already know, is where somebody, a celebrity figure or somebody you follow on social media or whatever, if they put their foot in it, or if they say something you disagree with, or reveal something about themselves which is perhaps not aligned with your own value system or might be considered a bad thing to do, you cancel them, you block them, you unfollow them on social media, you then say that you don't like this person anymore. They are no longer an idol or somebody that you would look up to. So, I can understand that, but also, you know, celebrities, like everyone else, are normal human beings. I don't know about that phrase normal, but they're human beings, and they make mistakes. I would be doing air quotes around mistakes, but my hands are full, so I can't. Yeah, they do stuff which they might later regret. They perhaps make errors of judgment, or they might just do stuff and stand by it and you just disagree with it. We can't all agree with everything all the time. That would be a bit boring, wouldn't it? So, I suppose this cancel culture thing is it's got a lot of judgment behind it. So we can judge this behaviour as good or bad, and then say, oh, that person is bad now. They've made a decision, or they've exhibited some behaviour which I deem to be bad, and therefore the person is bad, and therefore I'm going to criticise them and not follow them and judge them and all that stuff. So I do understand that, but I think this can create separation. It can create a gap between us. It can be very polarising just to label somebody as bad because they've done one thing. And the thing itself might be bad, but maybe it's something in their past that has come out that they're used to. Maybe they used to be, I don't know. Here's an example, John Lennon. I was listening to something on BBC Sounds this morning called Evil Genius. It's a Russell Kane kind of pseudo-comedy vehicle. It's kind of partly comedic but partly serious, and it's about examining the lives of celebrities, famous people who we might have pedestalised in the past. But now information has come out about them which makes them perhaps not so shiny. So Winston Churchill, for example, I believe had some racist tendencies and didn't like immigration. John Lennon, they were talking about, in his younger years, was a very angry young man. And he used to, by his own admission apparently, hit his first wife. So he had a violent streak in him. And I think we all have a violent streak in us. And if you know anything about John Lennon's childhood, then I'm not going to excuse violence to women or anyone at all. I like the practice of ahimsa, non-violence in all things. That's why I don't eat animals. But yeah, I'm not condoning his behaviour or excusing his behaviour, but we all have stuff in our childhood which influences our behaviour as we grow into adulthood. And the tough stuff that John Lennon had to deal with. Again, like I say, it doesn't excuse his behaviour as an adult, but I can understand the anger and the frustration, and if there was some misogyny in there, then maybe I can understand it. I can be compassionate towards him as a person, whilst not excusing the behaviour. And to me, that doesn't mean he died a bad person. He did some things that he later regretted. Stuff around his parenting as well with his first child. Yeah, pretty abhorrent stuff. But can any of us hold our hands up and say, I am flawless, I've never made a mistake, I have never done anything that I regret or am feel guilty about now, feel shame around? I doubt it, unless you are some kind of bodhisattva being. So, yeah, I mean, all we can do is the best we can with the tools that we have available. And, you know, I've done some stuff in the past that I feel shame and guilt around. And I used to really beat myself up about that. And it's taken quite a lot of work of spiritual development and psychotherapy and meditation and other spiritual practices that have allowed me to be compassionate to myself and to forgive myself, and likewise to forgive other people and be compassionate to them. That's part of the ahimsa thing as well. One of the, what do they call them? The 5, I've forgotten what they are. 5 kind of guiding principles of yoga. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so we can label celebrities, John Lennon, Donald Trump, Johnny Depp, whoever it is, we can label them and say, yes, this person has done some bad things and I am now going to see them as a bad person. But actually, I don't think that's helpful. I think it's polarising, I think it is very dualistic, and we all have good and bad within us. And again, I don't really like the terms good or bad. We have a shadow within us. Carl Jung talked about the shadow, which is the part of ourselves that we deny, the part of ourselves that we either don't want to show to the world because we're ashamed of it, or because we actually don't accept within ourselves. And that can be positive qualities as well as less desirable qualities. We've all got that in us. We're all complex beings, yin and yang. So this cancel culture thing, I think, whilst I can understand it, I don't think it's helpful. I think it's anything with judgment in it creates separation. That can be very polarising, and I'm thinking about things like racism, things like the Brexit debate, whether you are a red or a blue or an in or an out. People can get very entrenched and say, this is my point of view, and the alternative point of view is rubbish, and they just dismiss it. But actually, I think there's always value in the other side of the debate, whatever that is, whether that's an individual, a political thing, any values you may hold which are different to other people. There's always value in the other view, and it's good, I think, to learn, try and understand where the other view, the other person, the other party, the other point of view is coming from. And that way we can grow, we can get a more balanced view of the world and accept that, yeah, my way isn't the right way, my way is just one way, and the other person's way isn't good or bad, it's just their way. And there's this kind of compassionate middle ground where we can come to accept that we don't have to polarise, we don't have to cancel, we can try and embrace that person, that view, as an imperfect being, and have some compassion for where they come from. And if people do make mistakes, maybe we can come to forgive them for that. It can be very hard to do that, especially if it's really abhorrent stuff that the person's done. But if that person has shown regret and is working on themselves to make reparations and change their behaviour and regrets it themselves, then maybe there's room for us to forgive and be compassionate as well. I'm thinking about cases that go to court, and people who plead guilty and show remorse get a shorter prison sentence than those who show no remorse. And I suppose that's the first step towards healing, is admitting, yeah, do you know what, I made a mistake. I'm sorry that I made a mistake. I'm going to try and do better. Yes, so what else do I need to say? Yes, I think that's it really. This came to mind when I was listening to that Evil Genius thing on BBC Sounds app earlier on, and I just thought, okay, this is a bit of a game show, it's a bit of a comedy thing. I know it's entertainment, but it's also supposed to be educational, I think. And the idea is that they get 3 celebrity panellists in to judge a person, whether it's John Lennon or Gandhi or Winston Churchill or Darth Vader, and say, are they evil or are they a genius? And the generic view might be that they are a genius. A lot of people might think John Lennon is a genius. But then they uncover these facts about what they've done, like ignoring his first child and beating up his first wife and stuff. And then they think, actually he wasn't a genius. He was evil. No, sorry, I do not agree. I don't think anyone is evil. We all have, like I say, the shadow. We've all got that difficult stuff within us. We all make mistakes. But why do we have to label it as good or bad? And why do we have to engage in this cancel culture? We don't have to like everything about everyone. We don't have to like everything about ourselves. But, like I say, we can work on forgiveness and compassion, embracing the shadow and working on ourselves, and just accepting that we all are the best that we can be right now. We're the best version of ourselves right now. We're doing our best. In the past we might have made mistakes. And that's okay, because we're human. Okay, so, felt like a bit of a lecture that. I hope it didn't come across that way. I'm just trying to offer a more kind of balanced viewpoint. And I'm all about compassion. Ahimsa is my word of the day. So I hope that is of some use to you, and do feel free to enter the debate by commenting around your feelings about this topic, if you wish. So, exciting stuff coming up in the Hive this week. 2 new sessions starting. On Wednesday, Karen Higgins, who has very bravely shared her personal journey about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Hive around recovery from a narcissistic partner and how she has come to find some meaning and forgiveness and compassion and direction in her life. She's going to be sharing some of her personal reflections and also some spiritual texts and maybe some astrology as well. She's well into astrology, so maybe you can learn something there, or just connect with Karen in a meaningful way. That's Wednesdays, starting this week at 8 p.m, streaming live, Facebook Live. And then on Sunday, next Sunday, not today, Becky and her husband Andy, both musical maestros, are going to be presenting Singer-Size. How wonderful. So, an opportunity to download your PDF song sheets, sing along, and I believe there might be either an artist of the week or a theme of the week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Singing can be wonderful for connecting you with other people. It's joyful, it's great for mental health, so do come along to that. No experience required, and you don't need to have, you don't need to be pitch perfect or anything like that. All good. And there's also something else new coming to the Hive, which I'm excited about. Still in the planning stages at the moment, so I won't. I'm just going to dangle that carrot again and say something exciting coming. I hope you'll find it wonderful, and I'll give you more details about that once we have nailed them down. So thanks to everyone for your support, and please do share the group with your friends. And if you'd like to help us make it sustainable, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/thrivehive, and you can either subscribe for £7 a month, or you can just buy me a coffee.com/thrivehive. £3 each time you feel you are ready, willing and able to do so. Thank you folks, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and see you on the Hive soon. Next time I will be here, it will be tomorrow evening, talking to Myrrell. Not Miriel, Myrrell, rhymes with squirrel. Myrrell Morley is going to be talking about how we can use the human givens perspective to manage, control, restrict our anxiety. Who isn't feeling anxious at the moment? You might be in the minority if you're not feeling anxious at the moment with this pandemic and all the other gubbins that's going on. So that's looking forward to that, 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, live on the Hive. All right, take care folks, see you soon, bye-bye.